Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of On the Air with Tim and Ken. Ken, great to be back. How you been?
Good, Tim. Great to be back for another episode. A lot's gone on since our last episode, so it's a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about. We were going to do an episode a week or two ago, and I got tangled up in a beehive or a wasp nest or something, so we had to delay it. But we're going to run through a lot of stuff tonight and get folks caught up on what's been going on over the last couple of weeks. So before we do, I just want to thank everybody for watching and subscribing. I think, Ken, you want to do that? Big shout out to John Carroll again and Big Mike at Carroll Advertising. Ken, they've been great to us, as you know, at the billboard up here in the near Gillette Stadium. So John and Big Mike, thanks again. Thanks to the team. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And, thanks everybody for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, family, make your pets watch. We're an all-inclusive group here.
Yeah, and send us some notes if you have any ideas that you want us to touch on. We touch on a lot of different things. We don't usually recap baseball games and things like that or give you highlights. We have a little bit different angle, but we try to make it a little bit interesting. And hopefully every episode you pick up a tidbit or two that you didn't even know about, maybe you didn't care about, but we try to keep it moving along.
Yeah, we're always interested in stories. Tim and I talk a lot offline, and we try to get as much as the stuff we talk about into these episodes. But we can't cover everything, and a lot's happened in the last month. With just so much going on, and college football coming up, and but I think we got to start with the Little League kids and the
Little League
softball just ended, and the champion was Clayton, North Carolina, which is when I'm in North Carolina where I stay. So congratulations to them. They won 2-0 over Owensboro, Kentucky. It's just a great event. I watched a lot of it. It's on ESPN for a whole week, and the girls are 10 to 12. They're having a great time. They play at a high level. It's really enjoyable. It makes you really go back to appreciate sports, because they're having so much fun doing it, and the play is really, really an extreme high level. And it's congratulations to all the girls that played, and
great tournament, great summer. I caught a little bit of it on ESPN, and you're right, they are very talented and very deserving to be in that tournament. And like you said, it's a great summertime thing, great amateur sports, and so it's great that we can talk about it rather than some of the bigger stuff once in a while.
I know you had some baseball stuff at the same age level that you came across.
Age level, yeah. I was out one night just walking around with my dog and stumbled across a Little League game like so many other people. So I stopped for a while, and I happened to catch a game up here in my area, and it was the town of Plainville. They were playing the town of Norfolk in some sort of championship game. And I saw a great game, beautiful night. It was just fun to see the young guys out there playing, the young kids playing, and the coaches were great with the players, and the parents were there, the grandparents were there. And I think I after the game or during the game, I ran into one of the grandmothers of one of the players. Actually, he was pitching. His name is Braden Bedreau, and he pitched for the winning team. He had a great game, and his team won. And I got a photo that I'll share with you with his proud grandmother, Caroline Paspantonio, and you'll see Braden there. And then right at the end of the game, this is like a movie scene. It rained for about 3 seconds, very light rain. All of a sudden, at the very end of the game, and then a beautiful rainbow came out. And that was great for both teams. I thought it was kind of a neat thing, the way to end the game. Both teams had great team spirit. The coaches were supportive of both. The fans were great for both. So it was good to see that stuff. I enjoy seeing something like that. So congratulations to everyone that participated.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody. I know the Little League World Series is this week in Williamsport, so you'll see that on ESPN all week. Teams from around the world. So it's just a great time of summer, and it reminds you of why we love sports, and with all the stuff that goes on in sports in the professional world, good and bad, at this age level, just reminds everybody why we love sports and why we all grew up loving sports.
That's right.
So I hear baseball, Boston has they're rebounding. The Red Sox are rebounding.
Let me just
Our
back up in
friend
the Little
Bill,
League World
our
Series,
friend
though.
Bill was a little happy.
Let me get before we get to the Red Sox. Like, but I wanted to just back up real quick on the Little League World Series because you touched on it. The Little League World Series is coming up in Williamsport in about a week or so, and that's truly a World Series because you have 10 teams from the United States and 10 teams internationally there. Um, no one gets paid. The Little League organization pays for the travel for the teams and so forth. What's refreshing is a lot of it is, and girls can participate if they're on the team. They participate. I think there's been 20 something plus girls that have participated in the final game. They perform very well, so that's great. And tickets are free. You can go to Williamsport. I think you have to go on the portal to sign up for tickets, but the tickets are free. It's just a great thing for young people to participate in and their families. It's right of summer. And there have been 78 Little League World Series. The United States has won 40 of them, and the international teams have won 38. So it's very competitive.
Wow.
So it's great stuff. I hope everyone gets a chance to watch part of it. It's a one game. It's not like best of seven. It's one game when you get to the finals. It's 6 innings, and we'll see how it goes. So it's free. It'll be on TV. The players don't pay any money to get there. It doesn't cost the parents any money. The Little League picks it all up. They take care of their travel, their housing. I don't think they take care of all the parents on that stuff. They're probably on their own, but the players get to go there, and they have just a wonderful summer. So congratulations to the Little League Association for doing that, carrying that tradition on. So great stuff. But let's keep moving along.
That's great.
Let's move on to Major League Baseball. You touched on it before I interrupted Ken. The Red Sox were kind of down in the dumps at the start of the season. July, they get super hot. They went on a 15-game winning streak. Everyone in Boston has revived. They're back right around the break before the All-Star break, and it continued after the All-Star break. 15-game winning streak. So I was like, is that, it's exciting. They're back in the playoff hunt. Clearly, they'll probably, if they don't implode, they'll probably get the wild card spot. But I looked at winning streaks, and I was curious: is that a good thing, bad thing, or indifferent? The Red Sox just had a 15-game winning streak. It tied their longest winning streak ever. But the longest winning streak in the American League was in 2017, the Cleveland Indians. They had a 22-game winning streak, yet they lost in the division the first round of the playoffs. So it doesn't always pan out. Winning streaks are great, but sometimes you get too much effort into them. I don't know. But I just wanted to touch on the winning streak the Red Sox had. It's been great for the local fans, got the fans going again. But we'll see what happens when they get to the playoffs, and they should. So I just wanted to touch on that.
Especially with the summer, this part of the summer, it's a little quiet, right? People are on vacation. Football hasn't really kicked in yet, so it's a good time to have a winning streak, get some interest going, and
what was interesting
for the playoffs.
That one started before the All-Star game, and it carried over after. Usually, you have a break and you interrupt everything, but they kept it going for a while. And I don't know where they've been since. They had a little bit of a downslope after that, but we'll see where they go. It lifted the whole team up and the whole area up for that. So that's good stuff. Let's move on. We got in the baseball theme though. We got. I heard from Bill from Naples. He's one of our subscribers, one of our viewers. But Bill's into collectible. He's into a lot of baseball stuff and sports and things. But he's also focused on collectibles. And he said, Tim, you got to look at, this was a few weeks ago, he said, you got to look at the Ohtani card, baseball card. Why am I going to look at that? Well, he just wanted to bring it out that the thing sold for like $11 million by a group. And one of the three in the group was Kevin O'Leary, from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful. And he's got some partners. And they're big into these baseball cards, all these collectibles. I don't see it. I don't understand why it's worth so much money. They're not original pieces of work. They're just a printed card, but they're one of one typically. So there's only one that will ever exist, and I guess that's what makes it popular and I guess valuable. I don't know who would have been 10 million, but if there were two people, I don't know. But they bought it for 11 million thereabouts. But that's not the highest price ever paid. I was looking that up. I think a Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant card sold for more, and I think the Mickey Mantle card was up there too. So. And now we have a Cooper Flag card. Bill called me the other day, says, hey, you got to get up on the collectibles. He said, Cooper Flag from the NBA. Just the other day, a gentleman from South Carolina, he kind of won the card. He put up $550 in this, what they call an opening thing, and they open the cards up, and he got that card, and it was more like a lottery almost of cards, so to speak. But he got one of one. Now, the Cooper Flag card is estimated to be worth about $4 million. No one really knows because what are you going to price it against? But the Dallas Mavericks, or someone has reached out. I think it was the Mavericks reached out to the new owner of the card and said, "We'll give you 32 seasons of season tickets, 32 years of season tickets, autographs, all these other things." And he's just sitting tight right now. He doesn't know what he's going to do with it. We'll see what he says, but they think it's worth about $4 million or more. So check your cards, check your today, check your collectibles, whatever you have. Whatever you didn't throw out over years, it could be quite valuable. I don't know why they're so valuable, but apparently they are.
Tim, I'm going to recommend he hold on to it for at least a year, like the LA Lakers owners did, because
Right.
the owners, we covered this back in June of 25. The team got sold for $10 billion. Within the last few days, the price is now $12.5 billion. The Lakers are about to be sold again. What can you say about wow? Like $2.5 billion in a year.
Right.
I mean,
Without LeBron.
Crazy valuation.
With no LeBron.
A lot of money. No LeBron.
I looked up
it's crazy money.
I was trying to figure out all I could find about the team on revenue and profitability was about $200 million a year in profitability. So you read about a 50 or 60 ratio there, 50 or 60 times earnings on that valuation. That's a very high valuation. I don't know why you do that. I don't know any other investment you go. Usually a startup or something has that kind of crazy valuation where you think it's going to skyrocket. But how much higher can the Lakers go in valuation? The Celtics sold, at least a portion of it. There was a value of it when we talked about this a year or so ago, and it was about $6 million. I forget the number.
Six and change, yeah.
Yeah. So now you're at 12.5 million, and we're going to follow up on this a little bit, Ken, because right before we went on, you mentioned the former owner of the Lakers. He also owns the Dodgers, or was a majority owner, and the feds are following him. I'm not alleging anything. I just know they're investigating him on a few things. He's got a lot of business interest, so I'm sure folks like him, it's not uncommon to be looked at. But we'll see where it goes, because you talked about. I'm off track a little bit, but you talked a little bit about the Dodgers before on some of their deferred compensation going forward.
I mean, they got deferred salaries of $1 billion.
Same owner, so
that's real cash. Like, at some point, somebody's going to have to pay that out. We kid every year about the Bobby Bonilla contract. That's $1 million a year, and
right.
So the Lakers, the way they've been funding a lot of this is deferred salaries, and it's up to $1 billion that they owe.
Yeah.
Or they're going to try to dump on the new owners, the next set of owners. The money is astronomical right now. The NBA is making so much money. They're talking about $10 billion expansion teams, and we're going to talk more about that in upcoming episodes. An NBA Europe League, where I think it's $500 million to get in. It's insane amount of money.
There's a race to these sports teams and franchises and leagues that are starting up. I don't know if it's just a new asset class. It's really that people are, I don't know what's driving all of it, but a lot of big money is flowing into, different sports, different leagues, teams valuations. We talk about it. It just seems to be really skyrocketing crazy over the last year or two.
It goes back to these TV deals and these streaming deals, and that are in the billions of dollars that they're counting on people paying. And we have another NBA story about our favorite team, the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep.
So the Brooklyn Nets, who came out last year and said they were tanking to get a draft pick, and that didn't work out too well for them. They got the 6th pick. Unfortunately, the owner, Joe Tsai, and his wife, Clara, are getting divorced. But they don't want the Brooklyn Net fans to worry. Nothing is going to change. They said the divorce will not impact the team. So 2 years ago, they won 26 games. Last year, they won 20 games. This year, they're projected to win 22 games. So don't worry, the divorce will not impact the team. But The
Oh,
one thing that they don't have going for them is they don't control their own first round pick this year. That is now controlled by the Houston Rockets. So winning 22 games doesn't get them anything right now.
unbelievable. So go.
Yeah.
So the team's a mess. The ownership is going to go through some changes there somehow, some way. Something's going to happen. But they're saying, don't worry, don't
Don't
worry.
worry. Don't worry.
Nothing. We'll get 20 wins. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, we'll
Nothing's going
get
to change.
25 maybe. And,
Can't make this stuff up.
so speaking of money, Tim, the NFL has come out and announced that for the 2025 season that just closed with the Super Bowl back in February, that the payout from media and league deals totaled over $14 billion.
With a B, yeah, 14 billion.
That's $450 million a team. Just from that. That's not tickets. That's
Right.
just from the streaming, league sponsorship, apparel, and all that stuff. Um, just a crazy number. It's, but I hear that's not enough for Mr. Kraft. I hear Mr. Kraft
Well, Mr. Kraft and his family, the Kraft
it is
group.
not enough money for Mr. Kraft that he's trying to sue to get some more.
So they've been a long time. I guess allegedly they're tenants of the town of Foxborough, and I haven't verified this, but I was told that from a pretty reliable source. And I need to look it up, but the stadium is on leased land. Not everything around the stadium. If you haven't been there, there's hotels and restaurants and retail and hospitals all around the stadium. The stadium itself is off on leased land, and we can speculate as to why that is. You don't have real estate taxes per se, things like that. I don't know exactly why. I've never verified that, but that's one thing. But to Ken's real point was there's litigation going on. There's probably always litigation going on at this level, but this one caught my eye. The Crafts they claim they're supposed to pay $100 annual renewal fee for their license, $100. And the town is suing them for $1 million, trying to get $1 million, saying, no, you had to pay for all the upgrades and security and services we have to provide. Over the years, that's changed dramatically for a lot of reasons. No one doubts that. The services that the town has to provide for the crowd control and all that. And Mr. Kraft's group, his attorneys are responding, no, they didn't publish the contract, but they're alleging, no, it's $100. That's all you can charge us. So for $1 million lawsuit, what are the legal fees going to be? Obviously, you and I talked real quickly about this, and no one's going to be pushed around at that level, and that's what I think this message is all about. Mr. Kraft, in my estimation, has been a very good. His family has been a phenomenal owner up there, built a great thing. So I just was shocked to see $1 million lawsuit. That's nothing. But I think they want to set the tone. Maybe they'll renegotiate some things. I'm sure it'll all work out. But I just thought it
Yeah,
was
and I mean you're up there, but apparently he's phenomenal. The public and for
yes,
charities
very
and
philanthropic, very good
and
owner, very
yeah,
approachable. Does so many things for so many people. Some of it very private, some of it more a little public. They've been phenomenal for the area, for the team, for the franchise, for the NFL. He's one of the top. He's done a lot for the NFL in a positive way, and that's not common today for such a long time. So I just thought it was an interesting lawsuit. $1 million. I mean, like, what are the legal fees going to be on this thing? Half
yeah,
that,
it's going to be $100,000 right there in legal fees. So
right?
but everybody has where they want to make a point, and
Yep.
I'm sure he's done a lot for that community besides the stadium, and
Yeah.
he's going to make them think about it. Maybe just stops future, them trying to tax them.
Yeah,
So
maybe it was a lot of paper cuts along the way, and enough's enough. So we'll see how it plays out. I don't want to see the lawsuit go on. I checked a few hours ago. I didn't get any updates formally. It would suggest to me the lawsuit's still going on. I would assume something like that's going to get resolved fairly quickly. I can't imagine that's going to go to a trial or something like that. But you never know. I mean, things are crazy sometimes. But Mr. Kraft's
those two are tied together for life. So
yeah.
the Patriots aren't going anywhere.
No.
I mean they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it out, and we'll just hope. We may not know the settlement on it, but maybe they'll make it public. But we'll see. So that's the story up here. With that, the NFL is very strong. Like you said, the revenue is very good. Now you want to move on to one of our favorite Bill.
Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo. I forgot
Buffalo.
Buffalo. That's right.
So the Buffalo Bills are opening up their new stadium that costs $2.2 billion.
Who's paying for that?
The New York State paid $600 million.
Oh, they have
Erie
money.
County paid $250 million. The majority was covered by the NFL and the Bills, but the Bills did assess their season ticket holders between $250 million and $263 million in seat licensing fees. So, but the season ticket holders apparently had a chance to go visit the new stadium,
How are the
and
seats?
and apparently all the seats do not have a clear view of the stadium. You built a stadium,
Design
and
101.
some of the seats have obstructed views, partially obstructed views. They don't have complete line of sight to the field.
Now, I go to Fenway Park on a rare occasion, and I can understand why there are some quirky seats there, you know. But in today's day and age, you're building an outdoor stadium with
Yeah.
everything today, and you don't have a clear view.
And you're paying a seat licensing fee.
Wow.
2.2 billion. Yeah, you can't make this up. Go online. There's pictures. There's stories. People are irate up there. You can see for yourself some of the seats, the views that people have. It's really just outrageous. I mean,
Ken, we weren't going to get into this tonight, but we have a little bit of time. Talk about the coach up there and what your thoughts are. I thought your take on it was interesting. Obviously, it's preseason, but what were your thoughts on the pressure on the new head coach?
Well, so I've been watching some of these sports shows just because they're on when I'm in the car or I'm home, and they're talking about coaches on the hot seat already. And they're talking about like Indianapolis and the Jets and Philadelphia. And to me, the number one coach on the hot seat is Joe Brady of the Buffalo Bills. They fired Sean McDermott. He had gone to the playoffs the last several years.
Yeah.
They hadn't gotten to the Super Bowl. You promote the offensive coordinator, which is Josh Allen's guy.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin is going to be doing Sunday Night Football. He's going to be sitting there. He's going to be watching the game. I mean, can you link anything better to Josh Allen in Buffalo than Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Right.
I mean, to me, they're identical situations. And how many offensive coordinators? Norv Turner, right? Josh McDaniels,
Right.
Charlie Weiss, have failed at being a head coach.
It's a much different role, much different.
And if the Bills go 9-8 this year and don't make the playoffs, and Mike Tomlin is flirting that I can get him there.
Yeah.
This is going to be a Gerard Mayo thing all over again. It's going to be one and done because the clock is ticking on Josh Allen's career.
That's right.
And I just think that you're going into a new stadium, a $2.2 billion stadium, and I can't think of a coach under more pressure than Joe Brady of the Buffalo Bills.
Well, they're not off to a good start with the new stadium if you have obstructive view seats, so that's not a good omen. But like you said, Josh Allen, phenomenal talent, but the window of opportunity closes pretty quickly at that level, and it's very competitive in the NFL. So you don't have a lot of chances to get to the championship game or get to the Super Bowl. There just aren't that many chances.
And what a better fit than Mike Tomlin, right? He knows how to play in cold weather. It's tailor-made for him to give him that quarterback, which is what he struggled with at Pittsburgh the last half a dozen years, finding a quarterback. It's almost setting up to be his job next in the 2027 season, to me.
Yeah, we'll see how they do. I mean, like you said, we'll know in November, I suppose, where things are going.
I think if they ever go under 500, even 0-1, they're in trouble because it's going to get loud.
We'll keep an eye on it. Um,
So given that,
who
well,
else?
I think we finish it up with Coach Belichick, right?
Yep, Bill Belichick, right? This is a big year now. Did they sell out like last year? You couldn't get a seat down there at all. You couldn't buy your way into that stadium.
And plenty of good seats still available. Season tickets, single game. Look at love Coach Belichick, great coach. Wish him well. He's not off to a good start. The GM of the team is on administrative leave.
No.
His coach, his son Steven, who's the defensive coach, has taken a medical leave. You hope he's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of concerns down there that this is going to go south quickly, and that whether he'll even make it through the season. So I would never bet against him. I
No,
mean,
I
as
wouldn't bet
bad as
against
last
him.
year was, I don't think he would come back if he didn't think that he could fix this.
Yeah.
So, but
That's
we'll
my
see.
thought. He I wouldn't bet against him. I'm not saying he's going to do, get that team to where he hopes they can be, but I think there'll be I'm just guessing. I don't know the players, but he's not there to lose. He works hard. He knows the game. He's at a year now. See how it goes. We'll keep an eye on it. It's good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, again, the son's taking a medical leave. We hope he's fine, okay,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
the most important thing.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a really interesting year down there. And look, I think if he can get to 10 wins, get them back on track. I don't think anybody thinks they're going to get to the playoffs or anything of that matter, but they were 4-8 last year. He's at least got to flip that to 8-4.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and they had some brutal losses last year. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you think
Sure.
Belichick's going to ever be back in the NFL?
I don't.
Yeah.
I thought maybe Buffalo this year when they fired their coach. I thought that may have been the spot. That again, a ready-made team. I mean, Buffalo's there; they're ready-made. I thought the hire of Joe Brady was questionable. You needed. I thought that would have been the Belichick spot where he could have maybe taken that team that has so much talent that's always come up a little bit short for whatever reason, and maybe he could have gotten them over the. Gotten them to the Super Bowl. No, I think he was so damaged last year that after last year's season that in North Carolina that no, I think he's done in the NFL, which is unfortunate. But
Yep. Well, let's some success down there, and let's we want to see the best out of everybody, and I'm not rooting against him. I'm kind of rooting for him a little bit, and see how he does and gets that team going and get some success, and it'd be fun to watch.
yeah, so fall sports is always great. Yeah, the start of college and pro football, baseball playoffs.
Yeah, everything's ramping up real quick now.
Yep.
So
So
speaking of ramping up, I think we're ramping out of time here.
we're getting we're out of time, but look, we want to talk about a couple things coming up. The WNBA. We'll touch on that in a couple of episodes. Or Major League Soccer coming out of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to, take that success from the World Cup and translate it to their sport, kind of like hockey did with the Olympics?
Yeah.
Are they going to get that bump? So
we'll touch on that next time. And then there's the women's baseball league now that just launched.
Yeah.
We'll see how they're doing, and then there's a lot coming up for 2027. So you got football coming on, golf's going to get into the FedEx Cup thing and all that, and so there'll be a lot going on in the fall, and we'll be there soon enough.
And all the college NIL money is out of control. It gets more out of control every day. There's a football player that was in football training camps that decided he's going to go back to the University of Texas. I mean,
yeah. How many players are going back to college now to finish their degree, right?
Yeah, to finish their degree.
Yeah, it's the college sports. We didn't touch on it for this one. We kind of beat that up a while back, and we're waiting for more from the NCAA on this. There's just been nothing coming out of it yet, other than what you said, just a big mess. So it looks like the season's going to start that way again for the football teams and so forth in the fall sports. But there's a lot of not so popular things going on there. They've got to get that thing sorted out. So.
Okay.
But we're out of
All right,
time.
man.
Ken, good to see you. Everyone, thanks for watching. Have a good week.
Thanks everybody for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. Tim Ken podcast on X. Tim, great seeing you.
Good to see you. And Bill, thanks for the updates on the collectibles. We want to have you on an episode if you're willing to do it. We'd love to have you on.
We would like that. We'll see everybody soon.
Take care.
Bye.